I was trying to do the shave and a haircut 2 bits. Oh, I got a notification. Look at that. I'm streaming live on YouTube. I hope you got the notification too. Hello, Galaxy. I'm Chris Perillo. Kind of cleanly shaven from yesterday. If you missed the Lockergnome Daily Report yesterday, I meant to go all the way with it. Unfortunately, I kind of ran out of time. It's been a little busy around. That's all, folks. No, we're just getting started. Another live stream for everybody out there. We got Discord chat behind us. They were waiting very, very patiently to see this begin, to get the ball rolling with y'all. The Lockergnome Daily Report is a Q&A with you and me, an AMA every single day. You decide what I'm going to talk about, unlike the other channel where I decide what I'm going to talk about, really. I've just uploaded a fresh video to youtube.com/Chris Perillo that you could watch after this live video. It's about the topic that I kind of tilted into yesterday. Apple abandoned me. I didn't abandon Apple. And I even went as far as to say Apple abandoned us. Yeah, that. See? That's the thumbnail that we're going with. I love the emoji. Liz just does an amazing job with the emoji and the thumbnails and everything. Nope. Do not want. Nope. Don't laugh. You laugh, you see these notch products, these Apple products there, and you think, oh, Apple will never do that. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and begin with Fucho the Clown. Super chat. He's the first super chatter. He broke the ice. Thank you. He broke the ice with corn. It's just an emoji kind of night, I guess. So sit back, relax, post some emojis as a comment. Get yourself a nice hot beverage if you're in this hemisphere, because it's kind of chilly. Yes, Bob Santianello. Fucho the Clown really likes corn. No, he knows I hate it. So if you don't understand why I say his handle that way, it's because I want it to be advertiser friendly. If you want me to say his name the way it's meant to be said, you have to join us in the twitch.tv/Chris Perillo profile after TLDR, where we'll record a podcast. And when I'm streaming the video, that doesn't stick around, just the audio recording. The audio podcast is the only thing I keep. I'll say his name properly because I'm not worried about swearing over there. Here, I'm a little concerned about that. I want to try to be as family friendly as humanly possible. Oh, that looks good. Nice little matchup between The Last Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back. I watched a new behind the scenes video today. It's like a 2-minute long video. I'm like, yeah. I'm kind of getting excited for it. It's like Life Day comes early for me. I know, there's a war on Christmas or something, but you know what? I've been fighting for Life Day ever since I can remember. The one thing I need to get for myself and for Diana and for Jedi, we need to find red robes. Not like bathrobes, terry cloth robes. Take a look at the robes that Chewbacca wore and his family during the Life Day celebration of the now infamous holiday special that would never air again. Riley Morton begins with a question here on YouTube. It says, should I return the Pixel 2 or the Pixel XL2? Find the blue irritating. Hey man, if you find the blue irritating, yeah, the answer is you're probably not going to like it. See, I guess I don't as much as others do. And I know some people really, don't like that kind of screen. I don't mind it. Mine's already like gone red because night shift mode is on. It actually works. I had some weird thing happen last night. I don't know why, but it seems like in the middle of the night. Now, I don't have Do Not Disturb on a schedule, mind you. But it's like Do Not Disturb turned itself off because I swear I turned it on before I went to bed. I may not have. Either way, a couple of buzzes, kind of woke me up, and I'm like, what the heck? So I've got it now on a schedule where, after a certain time, it'll stop buzzing, and usually, by the time I'm in bed or laying down is when it'll stop buzzing, and then, it'll start buzzing again in the middle of the day. I'm also registered now to get the developer beta, which, by the way, I was told by Eddie Ringel, that the developer beta is pretty much the same as a public beta. It is CTS approved, which means that it should be fine on your device, should it support it. So I'm waiting to get some updates. I'm joining the beta, living on the edge. Living on the edge. Yeah. No, Samuel Montreal, we do not need a new campaign. Chris lick the corn. Chris is never going to lick the corn. Oh, God. I'd throw up. Oh, I'd throw up. Yeah, no. I gotta be careful for saying never. I mean, I suppose there's probably a way I would do it. Like, if someone offered a substantial sum, I'd lick corn, like a corn on the cob thing. But I would not eat it. That, oh god, like no one wants to see that for free. Pezliz comes in with more horrific icons worth the toonie. Well, we began this kind of singing the Looney Tunes song. It's kind of Looney Tunes around here. That's for sure. Rodrigo, I apologize. I mashed up his first name and last name. Rodrigo's Contreras asked, or he says, you're going to get that new Sleeping Visual Core chip access. Yeah, I honestly, in the blogs, this is why I'm a little late tonight. I was too busy reading. I finally caught up with all my work, and I'm like, oh, cool. I'm just looking at seeing what's new. Not a lot new in Android 8.1 for Pixel 2 owners, but certainly I want to try, to see if I can see the difference with that visual core that is a sleeper. Literally, it's a sleeper cell, kind of ish, sleeper chip. But I haven't seen much of write-up on it, so I'm curious to know if it really does have an impact on it in terms of the speed of the photo processing. The one thing I did do is I got my moment lenses. They came in. In fact, I took a handful of pictures and posted to Star Wars Radar. So if you don't follow Star Wars Radar on Twitter, I don't feel like you have to. I ended up retweeting it. But if you look here, let's see if I can find the exact tweet. Because I tweeted a couple of things. One was just a couple of shots, and the other one was a more of a full tour around my play shop, which worked out quite well. And the wide-angle lens is absolutely pretty stellar. This is just one of the shots here. We'll just, go to my Twitter account, but you can potentially see the difference between that shot and that shot. Like a wider angle view versus a really wide angle view. So that's the default one, and that's with the lens. So the thing that I'm inclined to say about these lenses is I'm not sure how often I'm going to use the macro one, because you have to be like right on top of the subject, so you have to have tons of light. But the detail this thing picks up is astounding. Like I literally had to be on top of like one of the figures in order to really get a good shot. And so let me go ahead and place it on top of the Maz Kanata box. I'm going to see if I can get a partial refund on the Maz Kanata box, because it's kind of dented. So let's see here. You got to line it up appropriately, accordingly. You line up the ends. You kind of push in, and then you screw it on. Oh, what's that? I don't know. I just pulled that off, apparently. Wait, is it on? I don't think so. Hang on. Oh, was I going the wrong way? It's on. All right. I don't know what that is. I'm not a professional photographer. So now I've got the moment case and the macro lens, and everything's going to be blurry because you got to get like right up close, like right on top of something. Okay, is this weird? Look, look everybody, I'm Picasso. Wait, let's see if I can get it just right. Okay, you getting that? You seeing it? Like, hello, just call me Guernica. Trying to get it. Does that look weird? Oh yeah, dude, I'm totally Picasso. Okay. Hopefully everyone got a shot there. I got to get like right on top of the subject. Oh man. Okay, let me just focus on his face there. Like y'all just messing around with portrait mode? No. You don't understand. Like this is okay. So there's the view, and I may have to like dim the brightness a bit so that you can catch it. I know I should use 2 fingers to swipe down. So many misswipes sometimes. Okay, see if you can get it. I'll end up tweeting this too, so don't worry if you don't see it. But the level of detail on this figure would have been impossible to see even with the naked eye. But look at the bokeh effect. Bokeh? It's so hokey. No, the bokeh effect. Like the portrait mode, you guys are just messing around with portrait mode. Just look at that. It's just the sharp details. So like the macro lens. Come on, dude. Like I had you zoomed in. Why'd you pop out? See, sometimes the weird things happen with the Android software. But it's astounding the level of detail that you can get. And that's just the moment lens. That is the and I don't think I even got it screwed on just right, but this may be something that you use outdoors. This part must be, because it's I was like getting right on top of Thrawn, and I'm like, it's not shooting. Okay, so that's how a high quality lens, the close up. So the macro one is fantastic. Oh god, that's very dirty. But the wide angle, I'd be inclined to just use in video. And then what are the other? Telephoto, I'd probably also be inclined just to use in video. I don't know if I'd be using them for photos all that much, because you get a little bit of fringing, and you know, I'm sure that was, you know, par for the course. But I'm not seeing a lot of that kind of artifacting on the macro shots that I've taken. And I love a good macro shot. I really genuinely do. Not everyone does, but I do. I think the thing in your hand is a lens hood. It prevents sun flare and haze. Yeah, no, I figured as much. I figured it was because of external light. I didn't realize it came off. Otherwise, I would have taken it off earlier, because I'd be inclined to just keep it off anyway, because I've got to get the lens cap back on. And unfortunately, the lens cap doesn't go over the hood. The wide angle lens comes with a hood as well. That's the telephoto lens. There's no built-in hood, you know, with the little squigglies on it, but they come in these little pouches. They're very, very handy. We've got a couple of I'm sorry, I'm missing the super chats. I apologize, everybody. David Stevens says, I received my XL2. Most animations transitions are better than iOS 11. Still some jank, but far less egregious compared to iOS. David Stevens, this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, I ended up going with a 0.5 animations just to kind of speed them up a bit, and I like them. I kind of vacillate between that and 1.0. I haven't figured out where I'm going to stay. Even a 100% speed of animations is fair. It's clean. It's a clean experience. So there's the wide angle. See what I'm saying? It's got those dips and hills there, and it's got the lens cap, and then you got to put it in the right bag. That's the wide angle lens. Huge. I'm kind of glad I went with these three, because I had a choice of which three I would pick. There's the macro lens. I got to get the hood off, though. And this is the telephoto lens. Telephoto lens. 60 is what it says. It's very nice. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. The case itself is pretty soft. It's nice. I could go with this case even without like using the lenses all the time. That just kind of clip on here. In fact, there's a little place at the bottom for a wrist strap that I think you bring your own wrist strap. Maybe it's a little taller than the Google case outright, but you know, I guess it's got a higher lip. So, like, in terms of any front-facing damage, I'd be fine. I'm inclined to keep using this for the moment, and may end up returning the Pixel case. It's not that it's a horrible thing. The only thing I like about the Pixel case is the buttons are a bit more pronounced versus the Moment case. You can't really tell which is the volume button or where it is, or the actual power button. And I use the power button a lot because you double tap it, and then it theoretically opens camera app. No, really? Oh, now it doesn't even want to turn on. Oh, there. Now it's on. Wow, that was really weird. But hey, you know, I'm not making this stuff up. There's definitely some issues that I've run into with this system. Riley Morton comes in with a super chat. Thank you, Riley. I appreciate the support. Riley Morton asks, could you comment on Pixel XL versus iPhone 8 Plus since you have both? Yeah, I'm actually working on the stack of like things that I like, things that I don't like between the two. I mean, there are definitely things that could be done better, for sure, on either one of them. But I'm currently compiling the list. Another reason why I ran a little late in terms of being able to start broadcasting for everybody today. Let's see here. What else do we have? Oh, thank you, Liz, for reminding me. Go.tagjag.com/free points. And I must update you. It's actually HTTPS now. We upgraded. We got SSL certificates for go.tagjag.com and also for Lockergnome.com. Not like anybody ever visits Lockergnome.com to begin with, but we're thinking about posting the daily updates, the 2 videos that we do. I don't know, maybe the podcast. I don't know. I don't know how it'll all go, but you can still go to Lockergnome.com. The newsletter is kind of in flux. We got to find a new host for it, unfortunately. I think we can upload audio separately. We're just not generating a lot of revenue on the website, quite honestly. But, you may at least get 3 new bits of content there, at least, every day. So just so you know, HTTPS, it's a thing. We did it. It was not exactly as easy as I would have hoped, but it was easier than I would have expected it to be. Not cheap either. Definitely not cheap for the way that we did it. Duff's Wildlife asks, will you be putting up a camera test vid between the iPhone 8 Plus and the Pixel 2 XL? Yeah, I need to. I've got some good outdoor shot comparisons, a couple of indoor shot comparisons. I'm not rushing to do it. Seems like that's the only way to remove the hood. But yeah, I really do want to get that done. I've got, oh wow, it's a very slim profile for that particular lens. The macro lens, minus the hood. Alright, got those done. I gotta go by their offices. We're gonna do a live stream from their offices, probably using the wide-angle lens attachment. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to do like a perfect macro shot like with the lens, comparing the moment lens. But yeah, I got like at least a couple of shots that I wanted to use, like a portrait mode shot indoors, probably not prime. Did some outdoor shots. On the go shots. I haven't done a lot of indoor testing between the cameras, and that's really the thing that's left for me to do. So that's how I feel it was going to happen. Adrian Jones says, let's encrypt, free SSL, and way easier to install. I don't know about that. Like our web host, they made it magic. It was very, very simple. And given that we have to roll, I'm not a web admin or I'm not a sysadmin, so it was just, it was unfortunate. Like I wish I had those skills, but I don't even have WordPress skills, or barely anymore. I updated the theme and tweaked it a bit, but there's only so far I could go with it. I'm like, this is gonna work well enough, and then I just gave up. So, I can't put a lot of time and effort into something if there's not a lot of return on it. Quite honestly, so I understand Let's Encrypt would be great if you're a nerd. I'm not a web nerd, so not gonna happen. Definitely not gonna happen. No, here we go. Let's see here. Someone was asking about Essential Phone. Anthony, listen to yesterday's TLDR. I talked about the Essential Phone price drop yesterday. I don't want to repeat that for everybody who tuned in. Dennis Camacho says, hey, Chris, let's switch it up. Thank you for throwing me a curveball. He says, what are your thoughts on Amazon Key announcement today? Creepy, cool? Well, I think it's nice that they're doing it. I don't know if I'm in the market for any of that stuff. Like, I'm looking at the Nest products at a distance. I'm like, I kind of like the way Google's making this ecosystem work. Not really into their thermostats outright, and the whole smart home thing really still makes me nervous. Even Google handling hardware the way they've handled the Pixel kind of makes me a little worried. But I would rather buy into a full-on ecosystem, and Amazon just has never done hardware or software very well, in my estimation, or user experience. They've never really nailed it to my satisfaction level. Not to say that Google's done an amazing job, but I'm not sure. I think it's interesting that you could buy a camera and then the smart lock or whatever, which I'm definitely not interested in. I want dumb locks. The idea is that an Amazon delivery agent could come and deliver your packages inside, which could cut down on theft, which is a big issue, especially around the holiday season. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't ever really deliver anything apart from at our mail drop. So it's interesting that they're doing it good at a good price point. Absolutely, there are a lot of good options, and I like that they're doing it because they make the rest of the market very competitive. So it's okay with me. I'm quite fine with it. But that's just my opinion, and it looks like Jeremy Bittner also seems to agree. A handful of you guys seem to agree. Riley Morton says, "Yep, Chris, have you had the Pixel shut down and randomly restart randomly throughout the day?" Not that I know of. Let me check my uptime here. God, that picture. Wait until I'm going to tweet this out from Star Wars Radar, but I don't have my Star Wars Radar account connected to it yet. Give me a second. Do I have it on here? Because you got to see this. Go to Star Wars. Oh, it's not uploaded yet. I need to get the... I was waiting for it to come over. Oh, it did. Okay, great. So now I can tweet it to Star Wars Radar. So head over to at Star Wars Radar. Up close with Emperor. Wait, up close with Palpy. Not palsy, Palpy. Don't autocorrect me. Up close with Palpy. Okay, so I'm going to tweet it. At Star Wars Radar, and you can take a better look at the photo up close with that macro lens. That's true bokeh right there. That's true. That's not faked at all. It's pretty astounding. If you get one lens, man, that macro lens is solid. So let's check my uptime here. Granted, I keep like frantically, seemingly refreshing for the update because it's got to get pushed down to the system now that I've enrolled it in the beta. Watch it like snag on right now. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go back. Oh. System settings. System. Where is it? About. Android version? No. Model? No. Status. Uptime 6909. So 3 days. So no, it hasn't rebooted. But has anybody else had this thing where, like, with the Pixel, like, I've got a few apps open, and then in the morning it seems like a lot of them are not open anymore. Do they, like, close on you with your Pixels? They seem to, like, clear out. Like, I don't sweep them myself, but they definitely don't clear out for me. I'd be curious to know if they clear out for you, too. David Stevens says, "I wish OEMs would use better Haptic engines. After using the iPhone, these other phones feel kind of crappy. It's a minor gripe, but I noticed the difference." I can't say that I have, honestly. I like the Haptic feedback, or the Haptic feedback on the keyboard. It's very nice. There I guess rare instances where I wish it had more of a vibraty feel. I've been fine with it, and I know other people have complained about the same thing that you've complained about, but I guess it's a minor point, kind of like the screen is to me, outright, in terms of the experience that I've been having with the device outright. But yeah, you that's not the first time I've heard someone complain about something like that. Zach Berjawi mentions that this is a headline that hit the news today. Apple says that the report that it reduced Face ID accuracy to speed up iPhone X production is completely false, which is interesting because Bloomberg reported it, not Mark. Mark. What's his last? I know his last name. Mark Gurman. Who always reports Apple rumors. This was not reported by him, and I was like, I don't know about this rumor. So, is Apple probably in the right on this one? Probably. They're having other problems with the iPhone X outright at a distance, but I still have no plans to get one or to stay up, and I know many people are and will, and they'll wait, and that's fine. I'm not here to take away from the things that you want at all. The Last Sith asks, "Chris, have you noticed that the top speaker in the Pixel 2 sounds louder than the bottom speaker in stereo? My friend says it doesn't. It's driving him nuts." No, I can't say I've absolutely heard the difference between the two. I guess they apparently, according to the 9 to 5 Mac, Stephen Hall, is it Stephen or Steven? I don't know. Reported that they basically diminished the intensity of the top firing speaker by 10 decibels. And the reason why is because it would vibrate the phone. It was too loud in how it was engineered. So that's the reason why that is happening the way it's happening. I did try a phone call on the Pixel 2 today, and unfortunately, I will tell you, I heard clicking on Diana's Pixel 2, or what may be Diana's Pixel 2. We're still raising the funds to have her keep that Pixel 2. Don't know if that's going to happen yet, if we're going to meet that goal. Go.tagjag.com/device-fund. It will come in handy. The hope, though, is that I haven't tried it on my Pixel 2 XL. I believe that it's tied into NFC because, as recommended, if you're hearing the clicking, and I didn't hear any whirring or whining, and I've recorded video on that device as well, but I heard the tap, tap, tap. It's a light tap, tap, tap. Very, very, very subtle. And as soon as you turn off NFC, it pretty much goes away. So I'm okay with her not using NFC, which she doesn't use all that often. It's a bit of it's a bit annoying, and it makes me wonder if it is something that can and will be addressed in software because it's a software toggle. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question outright. Google's really not addressed it. Lloyd Dose comes in with a super chat. Thank you very much. He says, installed Oreo Colorizer APK on my Pixel 2 XL after watching a YouTube video demo and actually helps with the screen issue, makes colors pop more. So, I've heard about this. I don't know if it's the right solution because A, you're sideloading it. It's not available in the App Store, A. B, it just annoys you with messages throughout, and so you got to be, annoyed with the messages in order to have color that you want. My hope would be that Google, if people keep clamoring for it, would enable that on the device outright. Just give them a toggle, give people that toggle. I mean, they can do it. It's inconsequential for them to do. Whether or not they will do it, I have no idea. I'd like to try it. I mean, I turned on more vivid, and I can't see the difference. But that's not really been one of my complaints. I've never looked at the screen and said, "Boy, those colors are horrible." In fact, I've gone to the back and forth to the iPhone, and the colors sometimes are seemingly more muted, on the iPhone compared to the Pixel 2. So, I think Google's made the right default decision here. I don't know if this is another thing. This case, when I've turned on the power button, sometimes I'll squeeze it up here, and it'll trigger assistant. So I've had to I squeezed it up here, and it triggered assistant. So I kind of have to effectively mitigate that or try to mitigate it. Let's see here. Okay, I'm clearing out. I love clearing out notifications. It's so much fun. Yay. Katie Dew says Android removes unused apps from recents for power saving purposes. Okay, Katie, thank you. That's appreciated. I figured there was a reason, but I'm like, that's happened a few nights in a row, and I'm like, I'm not doing it. So I appreciate when something happens that I don't understand when it's explained. I've had a few, mishaps in the corners at times. I feel I've had weird things happen where, like I said, I think Do Not Disturb turned itself off, but I can't remember if it was fully set. I'll know tonight. Another thing I had, and it was really, I was holding on to the device with the Google case this morning, and the thing that triggered was like a menu drop, and my finger was nowhere near tapping that area. It was just really weird. So I've had a few weird things happen. Today I was sitting here at the desk and I was hovering over it. My finger was kind of hovering over the screen, but certainly I wasn't even touching the screen, and suddenly a background app came to the foreground. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? Discord scroll. Got it. Sorry. Didn't mean for that to happen, folks. In fact, let's make sure we get that super chat credit. That was Lloyd's super chat, just so you know. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Everyone's kind of got to scream for my attention sometimes. It's a lot to handle for one person, and I don't always nail it. Like, for example, I don't think I got this light bright enough. See, now I do. Hopefully, is that better? I'm waiting for my white LEDs to come in here soon, and then when I do, I will look different. Today, I used the Pixel 2 XL camera for the video in the YouTube channel, the youtube.com/Chris Perillo, the one about Apple abandoned us and iOS hurt itself or something. I can't remember the exact title, but that was with the Pixel 2 XL for sure. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking at the comments. Rodrigo says, I've seen a video that the moment case makes the mic record sound weird compared to with it off. Really? Well, that's interesting because, the case has definitely got I guess a higher, I get not protection, but there is the hole that is at the top. The mic at the top is definitely covered differently than the mic is on the Pixel 2 XL one. Let me know what you think on the in the video. Listen to the video and let me know if you hear any anomalies. I'm sure they would certainly address that pretty well. Did I double tap the recent spot? No. I know that. I know this feature. I know Bam Bam. I know that one. No, it wasn't that. It was like I was basically doing I was reading a web page. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden, it was like a double tap, and I'm like, that was weird. It was a background app. It was a newly installed app. But I mean, I knew the source and everything, so it wasn't like out of the blue. It was just very, very odd for me to experience. Michael says, it baffles me that they didn't over vivid mode as the full color space that the display can do. Surely someone at Google held it up to the S8. But again, it all depends on your eyes. If you're accustomed to a vivid display, then yeah, anything less than that vivid display is going to look muted. I would rather have truer to life color accuracy than vivid colors. Personally, I mean, especially when I'm looking at something, when I'm looking at the screen and I want to know, is that what it looks like, or is it going to look different on this other screen? So I appreciate that they handle it the way they do. Not everybody agrees, and like I said, you've got various options, but I think most people would be just fine with what they have. Parth Patel asks, how much out of that total goal for the Pixel 2 and Pixel XL is covered so far? Maybe, well, a half. That's not even including the Pixel book. When I do, and I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, but I'm working on my list of comparisons. The Pixel 2 XL versus the iPhone 8, largely software comparisons. I feel I'm going to be doing the credits of, hey, here's who supported the Pixel, and I scroll through. So if you get your name in, then if you want your name in that iPhone 8 versus Pixel 2 XL video, you'll definitely want to pledge on go.tagjag.com/devicefund sooner rather than later. Someone else asked if I had any screen burn-in issues. No, and I'm testing every day, and I haven't seen anything. Still kind of waiting for Google to respond to that, too. And apparently maple syrup. Really? That's where we are? Maple syrup? A lot of commentary is specifically all around the bright, or not just the brightness, but specifically the color saturation of the Pixel screen. Thing that I just don't have an issue with. Rodrigo also mentions that the thing is that Android didn't really have a set color profile system until now. This is why Google pushed for the sRGB profile so they can sort of set a standard to go against. And like I said, I'm coming from an iPhone. It's not an issue at all. This is a funny little comment from the other YouTube channel. It says, after hearing, at least I didn't say Nexus, and to see that Millennium Falcon on your shirt, I hit the like button and subscribe to your channel. Man, that's awesome. I love that. That's so nice. Aw, so nice. So is my green tea, although it needs to be topped off. I just keep like pouring hot water into it throughout the day. Let's see here. Any other questions, folks? I mean, I know we're definitely covering a lot of some of the questions that are coming in. We've already covered in this video, or certainly in yesterday's video. Riley Morton does know ActiveEdge didn't work initially on my Pixel 2 even after troubleshooting with Google, but finally got it working randomly while in the Verizon store to return, so it's shaky at best, it feels. Yeah, I had to like make mine super strong because it seems like I make it so strong I can't even trigger it now, and I know I'm at the lock screen, but like it feels like sometimes with a case I'm doing it. I'm just accidentally triggering it. See, and it popped up and then it went away. Yeah. It's weird. Like I can't quite figure out like what it is I want it to do. Exactly. But anyway, yeah, it's not exactly like perfect. I mean, I could easily disable it, but I think I like having it on, but I may end up going through, I think you can disable it, and then just saying, Mumu, and then having it trigger that way, and just getting rid of it, because it more often than not I have accidentally triggered. I just have to remember to say it. Oh, I have to ask, not squeeze it, but actually say it. Wavin Bruder says, I think the inertia of iOS gives people a false sense of smoothness. Once I got used to Android not doing the rubber band effect, I realized how much better it is. Yeah, that's the thing, is animations are generally a bit more smooth on Android compared to iOS in general. And of course, everyone's going to have a different feeling on the matter. I like the rubber banding effect. I do kind of miss it, but not enough to say that iOS is any more smooth than what I've said before. So right now I'm just in the process of going back to a 1x animation. It's a smoother effect. It's the way the device was meant to be swiped, I guess. Future the Clown says, how are you? Any new projects in the pipeline? Well, thank you for asking how I am. I'm doing okay. And hey, Amara, good to see you again, virtually. Maybe we'll see you soon. New project is, the latest one is in another week or two. We're going to be doing the Creator Advocate weekend workshop at Adobe. And I'm very, very much looking forward to that. It's another part of my career that, I've been longing to, kind of foster in enabling and helping other creators. That's taking a while to get through. Santiago Hinojosa comes in with another super chat saying, how has your whole food plant-based diet helped you? Okay, so just so you know, it's not Whole Foods. It's not to be confused with the store, not to be confused with Amazon's chain of groceries. Whole food plant-based diet is very simply that. You eat the whole food. Like, if it's not the whole food, you don't eat it. So, like, you want some orange juice. Well, then eat the orange. Or eat every part of that food stuff. And in some cases, you don't want to get juice out of a fruit anyway, because you may actually be damaging, your pancreas and spiking your blood sugar levels by doing so. I don't drink juice anyway. I've long known. I'm sorry for Maz Kanata being in the way that whole time, but the crux of it is that you eat foods, natural foods, fruits, veggies, grains. Whole grains. You by and large avoid processed foods for the most part. I ended up eliminating salt for the most part from my diet regimen, but I've also added the hot sauce, the Valentina, if only for flavor, and there is some salt in there as well as to help with my IBS. So it's helped me not just lose weight, but it's also been able to help me maintain or keep on this trajectory of being healthier for it. Someone else asks, overall still enjoying the XL. I briefly thought about a V30 or regular Pixel 2. Still excited with my black and white one, black and white one, as long as I get no defects. I'm fine with it. There's a few more things I'd like to do with it, but it's not perfect. But it's seemingly a slightly better experience in some ways than the experience I've had in the iPhone. Expect to hear more about that in the iPhone versus Pixel video that I may end up doing tomorrow for everybody. Gavan Bergerer asks, how can I do a super chat? I appreciate the commentary. Not sure how to contribute. Well, there's a little icon. It's a little dollar icon that you see on the desktop or on Android. You can't do it on iOS. You press it. You say something. We post it. I answer questions. And I'll answer JPrez and 1980s question in a second. Another thing you can do if you want to support us, head over to twitch.tv/Chris Perillo, which is where you're going to want to go anyway, because we're going to be recording the podcast tonight after TLDR over there. When you're on my profile there, twitch.tv/Chris Perillo, links in the video description. You can sub to me. You can sub to me for free if you use Amazon Prime and you have your accounts connected. But when you do that, you have to renew that manually every month. Either way, you get access to the Discord chat, open 24/7. So you can support that way if you want to join the community. You can also join Discord chat by heading over to patreon.com/Chris Perillo and becoming a patron. It's easy to do, super easy to do. And then you get to join Discord. All the instructions have already been shared 7 ways from Sunday as well. So in terms of noticing any scrolling jank on the Pixel 2, let me scroll up just a tiny bit. It's like the screen doesn't register the scrolling action. Yeah, there's times where I'm actually touching and it does that, and I kind of let go, and then I go back at it again, and it relieves itself. There are times that's happened. More often than not, that's happened inside a web browser. I turned on smooth scrolling in my choice of a web browser, Brave, which I'm close to recommending for everybody, at least on Android over Chrome, for a few different reasons. Two reasons primarily. One, built-in tracker and ad blocking. That's a big one, huge. So it actually makes websites more responsive. And then the second reason I like Brave is because of it incorporates the HTTPS everywhere plugin, which you should be using anyway if you use Chrome. It's something that I really like. I wish I could get a version of it for Safari, but unfortunately they don't make a version of HTTPS everywhere for Safari, which is really kind of sad. But yeah, I like Brave. They've got a long way to go in terms of fit and finish. I'd like to switch to Brave on the desktop, to be honest. But it's still got a few UI things that I'm just like, I'm not so sure about that. Trevor Henry asks, Chris, what's your favorite 80s comedy? Oh man, so many good ones. I used to enjoy Facts of Life. Yeah, that was a good one. And Punky Brewster, those types of shows. Some of my favorites. Chuck Rodler asks, are the podcasts different content? They are, as a matter of fact. We sometimes I'll cover different things. Different questions are asked. I'm generally just, talking, babbling for about a half hour, answering questions from chat, just like I do here, but it is different. You can subscribe to Chris Perillo in your favorite podcast listening tool device feed thing. I should be listed there. Zach Brajawi comes in with the next super chat. Completely random question. I just got married in February, and I've always admired your relationship with Diana. Do you have any advice for us noob husbands? Oh, she's going to want to be here for this. Hun? Okay, I'm just making sure she's not within earshot. So I'll be safe to talk about this stuff. Because she would definitely disagree. So the things, and I mean, I've said this to Diana too, but this is the kind of advice that I guess I would dispense. This isn't a race. There is no winner, and you're going to come to terms with that eventually, but you're going to disagree on a great many things. And sometimes it's more important to find the things that you can both disagree upon rather than finding the things that you can't agree upon. For example, Diana and I are not necessarily into sports, which is great. And so we both disagree that sports are amazing. The things that we don't want, and finding those things that we don't want, and remembering that's part of our bond. But there's no winner. You get into an argument, and you will, and you're going to want to be right? Because you believe your position is valid. You have to recognize that you're going to have different positions. The other person's a different person, completely different person. She, in your case, is not a man, and you are not a woman. You're going to think differently. You're going to act differently. You're going to feel differently, and it doesn't mean that either one of you is wrong for that position. These are things that I've said over and over and over again, because it's true. It's a process. You need to get rid of any kind of expectations for her, and she needs to get rid of any expectations for you. And the reason why is because inevitably that's where failure comes in. If you're expecting this marriage is going to be this, that, and the other thing, and it isn't, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you walk in with no expectations, well, you're never going to be disappointed then. The only expectations you should have are the expectations that the other person sets up for themselves. Those are the expectations to adhere to. But you're on the same team. That's what you got to remember. Even when you don't disagree, or even when you don't agree on something, you're still on the same team. That's probably the best thing that I could say in terms of my advice, and hopefully that plays out. I'm not going to go into the whole idea that the wife has to be happy. I mean, you got to find your own happiness. That's the thing. Don't turn to her to bring you happiness, and she shouldn't turn to you to bring her happiness. Happiness comes from within. It's a false expectation to think that this is going to make everything better, because let me tell you, sometimes marriage will actually absolutely make things worse. But you're still on the same team, and there is no winner. It's not even a 50-50 thing. There's just who's trying to win? There is no loser. Because here's the thing. If one of you wins, you both win. If one of you loses, you both lose. That's how a marriage works. Chris Pirillo, guidance counselor. Now, if only I could get Diana to listen to me. She does say I don't listen very often. I do. I listen a lot, but I tend to. Well, number one, I'm a little older than her, and I tend to talk more than I listen. I admit that. That is a shortcoming of mine. It's a major shortcoming of mine. Jedi's going to need some counseling here, it sounds like. Can you hear her crying in the background there? Hun? Okay, she's still not in earshot. Just making sure. Dennis Camacho says he feels like he's watching the Oprah channel. And you get a counseling session, and you get a counseling session, and you get a counseling session, and you need medication. No. Now, actually, mental health is it's a serious topic. I mean, just because you can't see the scars doesn't mean that they don't exist. Mental health issue or a malady, is just as devastating as a physical one. I mean, you just don't see it. And I think it gets swept to the side far too often. Like, people say, "Oh, you're depressed. Well, then do this, that, and the other thing." I don't know if it's that easy. Medications in many cases can help. It doesn't mean that you're any worse for it or any better for it. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody. Ultimately, though, many medications are just going to, patch the symptoms. They're not going to get rid of they're not going to address the core problem. You have to work very hard to address that core problem. But of course, if your brain's misfiring in whatever is determined as misfiring, it's an uphill battle. You got many layers on top of that. You got the you, you've got the the nature you, you've got the nurture you, you've got relationships on top of that, and you've got all these various dynamics. Every one of us has these various dynamics, and sometimes it's very difficult to peel away the layers of that onion to get to the root cause of something. Anyway, so thank you for asking that question and veering us onto a very not geeky topic, but hey, this is an AMA. You asked the super chat. I'm very happy to talk about this stuff, and I certainly hope that that resonates with a good degree of the people out there listening, especially all you men and women, both of you. You're equal. Let's see here. Trevor Henry says, "Just because of you, I keep saying archipelago." Well, hopefully you know what it means, right? That's one thing that I wrote down in a list in terms of my negatives for the Android device is I don't have the ability to control my Apple TV. Now, there are third-party apps that I think I could use, but those always really make me nervous. Like when they kind of make things happen, but I'm like, I don't know if I can trust those things. Even on Google Play, even with Google Play Protect, which has been shown to not work very well. I don't download a lot of apps if I don't need them. I won't keep them. Patrick Norrie asks, Chris, if you were a character in the Star Wars universe, what would you be? Where would you fit in? I don't know. I don't know what I'd be. I'd like to believe I'd fight for the rebellion, for resistance. Suj Polo asks, have you managed to find any new sponsors? Dude, I haven't even managed to find one. No, I did. Jibo came in as a sponsor, and then I got something else last night. They nailed it down. I'm going to be getting Pop Chips. They're actually going to be sponsoring, not a device, unfortunately. Although I should try to. I'll eat Pop Chips. I think they've got some vegan options. What do you think? Pop Chips? Yeah. Reminds me to ask Pop Chips about device sponsorship. Oh, I gotta unlock it. And now I gotta remember to say the time. Tomorrow, let's do today. Tomorrow, today, evening. Evening is the past? Okay, fine, all day. Okay, there we go. Check. Okay, I added the reminder. Not as easy as I thought, but no, don't want to trigger that. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to turn off that squeezy thing. In fact, let me do that now. If you don't, do you mind? I'm going to turn off the squeeze effect. Because if I don't do it now, it's going to annoy me at another point, and then I'm just like, dang it, squeeze. Oops, guess I didn't swipe right. Come on, squeeze. I can't swipe here? Really? You can squeeze for assistant and turn that off. Squeeze for silence. Squeeze to silence incoming calls. Okay, so I've turned off squeeze. There is no more squeeze. No squeezes, if you pleases. Okay, we'll turn that off. You've never heard of pop chips? Oh, they're pretty fun. I haven't had them in a while. They have Star Wars pop chips. That's why they reached out to me. I saw them in the store and tweeted them from @StarWarsRadar. And they did. And I was very, very happy to see that. Metallicat61003 asks, have you found decent... Yeah, those are those. Although these I couldn't eat because they're not vegan. Unfortunately. They're white cheddar. Have you found a decent non-ugly audio recording podcast app yet on Android with all the functions you were looking for? No, but thank you for reminding me. I uploaded to Anchor. Oh, Anchor has stopped. Open app again. Okay. I uploaded a new episode, so you can listen to it ahead of time if you listen to me on Anchor. So let me go ahead and make this publish the podcast. A Pixel Perfect. Oh no. Come on. I'm still learning my way around the nuances here. A Pixel Perfect podcast. The nuances of how to use the keyboard. A Pixel Perfect podcast. Now, the reason why I'm uploading it now is because Ryan Matthew Pearson ended up doing he tweaked it. This is the audio I recorded specifically with the Pixel XL2, and so he managed to work his magic on it. All right, let's see here. It wants me to do a description. Like, only one person has read the podcast descriptions. Like, I'll just do it simple here. I recorded this on my Pixel 2 XL phone, period. I'm not sure if I sound amazing, but somebody made me sound even better than I normally sound. That's a horrible description. And it also did not capitalize Pixel, so I gotta go back and correct that. You just double tap and then press the shift key. If you didn't know you can do that in Android. You can kind of used to be able to do that with iOS, but they changed something. I'm not sure if I sound amazing. Oh, I need to put a comma there, otherwise it's not. Oh, and you can also... Oh, now I can swipe. You can also swipe the key, the space bar. If you want to move the cursor, you can swipe the space bar, and you can move the cursor around in Android. This is the Gboard. Wait, I gotta... Man, I should have chosen a different description. This is why I don't like writing descriptions. With post-processing. Okay, post-processing. There we go. Next, a Pixel Perfect podcast. Okay, episode published. So the reason why I wanted to publish that now is A, so you know that the podcast is there. And B, I want you to listen to it as soon as you can to let me know if you think you like it better than the iPhone recordings outright. I mean, unfortunately, there's no simple way of just point, click, simple, like push it and you're done with it. That's really the thing that I'm looking for. And I don't know, the microphone is very clear. It's definitely crisp in terms of a mic, or as far as a mic is concerned. I guess I'm kind of ambivalent in terms of if I like it more or less at this point. It may be a little tinny, but a little processing. If someone could do it on a regular basis, that'd be great. Oh, some of us actually read those. Oh, man. Oh, sorry, Zach. You're the other guy who reads those damn things. Well, hopefully you're liking my podcast descriptions, because I'm kind of like, really? Dude, just listen to the damn podcast. Fucho the Clown, also known as Drunken Old Man, asks, would you ever consider bringing back Perillo's picks? TLDR is kind of it. My picks are here, like today, the moment lenses. It gives me a chance to, have fun and engage the community. Jedi brought the Mama Tauntaun in here today. Where's the baby Tauntaun? There's a baby Tauntaun. This is like one that I got when I was at Disney World with Liz and her family. And by the way, speaking of, there's a new Build-A-Droid, not Build-A-Droid, but a new carded droid for Christmas. They're releasing soon, and I need to get my paws on one. Where's the baby one? There was a baby Tauntaun that went in here. I don't know where the heck it went. Oh man! Oh, that's a car. Jedi. She drops things all the time in here. She just grabs something. I'm like, no, don't grab it. It's this little Star Wars Hot Wheels car. She'll play with them and then drop things. So there's definitely a Tauntaun on the loose. The little one. I was going to show you. It was going to be really neat. Tim Prince asks, what happened to Perillo vlogs? GeekFamilyFun.com. I probably need to be recording more videos. I've been wanting to do live video streams of like dinner time. Like doing a mukbang with y'all. Yeah, there's a classic Pirillo pics. What about a GarageBand type DAW app for recording your podcast Android like J4T multi-track recorder on FL Studio? I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Is it an app that I can press a button on and be good to go? Great. I'm interested. Nice hoodie, says Suj Polo. Thank you. Got it years ago. Still fits now. So awesome. Fred Gingras asks, what's your favorite vegan treat? I'm getting crazy about papayas these days, man. Oh my god. Favorite vegan treat? You know, I've been snacking on roasted, unsalted soybeans. They're really fun. I mean, they take some getting used to. I don't think there's any oil involved. I try to avoid any kind of oil, but I enjoy those outright. You know, it's kind of a little snack. I don't really snack a lot outright. I mean, I eat at my meals and then I don't really snack. I do the what is it? The 18-hour fast? It's a thing. Fasting is a thing. But why do you think they call it break fast? Break fast. The morning meal, you're breaking your fast. Breakfast is break fast. So I don't eat breakfast. I get my calories, get my food stuff for lunch and dinner, and then sometimes, you know, a snack in between and then after dinner. I don't know. That would probably be it. I mean, it's super cheap. We get like a huge bag at a local store for like $2. Super, super, super cheap. Are ramen noodles good vegan food? Or vegan food? I don't know if they're vegan food. They're just, I wouldn't eat them. No, not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. Let's see here. Fred Gingras also does the 12 to 20 hour eating window himself. See, that's what I'm saying. If I eat so much, I don't think I eat too much soy. I keep it pretty balanced. I don't over soy myself. It's not really depending on what kind of ramen noodles you get. It may be pasta, it may not be pasta. I generally avoid enriched pasta. We don't really eat a lot of pasta around here. And you know, ever since I started talking vegan, we've lost viewers. Just so you know, that this is where y'all are steering me. Sorry, that's what happens. You start your questions, valid questions. I think it was actually after I started talking about the marriage stuff. I didn't come here to listen to you talk about this crap. I came here to listen to you talk about other crap. But they don't ask questions. You see what I'm saying? I make TLDR for you. I let you ask the questions. You ask the questions, I answer them. But then people get upset because I don't answer their questions that they don't ask. Dan Bittner asks, I know nothing about podcasts. Are they free to listen to? And what's your name on there if so? Yes, podcasts are generally free. You can search for Chris Perillo in your favorite podcast app. There are many ways to listen to podcasts. They're nothing more than audio files. But every time a new audio file is published, if you have a podcasting app, it'll say, hey, Chris Perillo just published, kind of like its own little YouTube, but not video, just audio. A lot of people listen to podcasts on their commute. I can't even say that my podcast is all that great, honestly. I wish I had, more questions that I was able to answer and not just, being left, to just talk about the things that are in my head, because sometimes it just sounds to me like I'm just rambling and I don't really have any particular topic. But I am recording. I am at least making it an opportunity for people to interact with. FL Studio or J4T multi-track recorder for recording your podcast on Android. Well, now I gotta look it up. Byron Visado 09 asks, have you tried Chrome OS? If so, what do you think about it? Years ago was the last experience I had with it, Byron, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I got rid of it, that system, because I was kind of cleaning house, and it was under spec by that day's standards, but Chrome OS ran so well, surprisingly well on it. Surprisingly. I like Chrome OS. I think Chrome OS is potentially a better type of experience for users than what an iPad may be. If you can take the screen off and you can touch the screen or whatnot, even for laptops. There's two things one thing that I know is missing: a video editor. Google needs to work on a video editor tool. It's not sufficient that you upload to YouTube and edit on there. They need a video editing tool in Chrome, specifically Chrome OS. Photo editing, they've kind of got handled for the most part. In Google Photos, it does the job well enough for me that I'm like, okay, that looks great. I'm good to go. But for everybody else, I don't know. Not having a video editor, I think, is a big impediment for Android and potentially for Chrome OS as well. So let's see here. Before I forget, FL Studio. Didn't someone else recommend FL Studio? And I looked at it, I'm like, yeah. FL Studio. I think, yeah. Oh, no, I haven't seen that one. $16. But, wait a minute. Hang on. It looks clean. It looks like it was optimized for big screens, too. Yeesh. So, wait, will it run on my phone? These are all, like, tablet interfaces. This is, like, overkill, I think, for what I'm doing, but dang, dude. I can buy it, for sure. High-quality synthesizers, samplers, drum kits, step sequencers. This is definitely... It's nice. Oh, there we go. Effects include compressor, limiter. Oh, there we go. Filters, delays, phaser, stereoizer. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's what I need. I need the compressor. Compressor and a limiter. And an auto ducker. Wow. Normalizer, I assume. I don't see normalizer on here, but I suppose if you have a compressor and a limiter, you'd be good. Will it work, though? Will it work on this phone? Tried it out, refunded if it doesn't work out. Oh, that's true. That's true. I use WeVideo for video editing on my Chromebook. What's it called? Because I got to tell Diana what it is, because we may need that for her if she switches to Android. You can help Diana switch to Android if you want. You just head over to go.tagjag.com/devicefund. And that would be helpful. SkyCop70. And by the way, I think Friday we'll be doing a video with her, hopefully earlier in the day on the Chris Perillo YouTube channel. Maybe not too early. Maybe we'll have to do it on Saturday. Although I think Friday is a more prime time to do it. We'll see. Because there may be something else going on. J4T Multi. Let's see what I'm bookmarking him to take a look later. J4T Multi-Track Recorder. Okay, let's see here. Ew, that doesn't look very nice at all. Oh, I just assume spend $15 on the... It does have a compressor, though. But it looks... It looks old school. Hey, look at us. We haven't updated our app since 1996. Ooh. At least the other one looked pretty amazing. I'm willing to spend more money on something that looks amazing. The icon's a little wonky, but that at least looks native to the platform. Way too much. This is way overkill, man. How the hell am I gonna figure this out? I'll be able to play drums in the podcast, though. All right. I'm willing to give it a shot and try it. And like I said, I just need a single track, recorder. Press the button and, go. And that's what I need. I'm willing to spend $15 once to do it. I earn gift cards, so that doesn't concern me as much for it. I have, I've got, a handful, but I of course, use a lot of those funds to go to covering YouTube Red too, so that I don't watch ads on YouTube. That was a huge boon. Okay, so we're a little over an hour. Thank you everybody for participating. I really do appreciate your support. The super chats have been very, very nice. Thank you again to all my Discord supporters, the subs and the patrons. And you can become a Discord chatter, a part of that community, one of two ways. One, either head over to twitch.tv/Chris Perillo, and then you sub to me there, and you'll be able to get access to Discord from there. The instructions are on the page. Or you can also head over to patreon.com/Chris Perillo and become a patron. You'll get access to Discord chat as well as this TLDR broadcast as an audio file, a podcast that's just for you to use. The instructions, of course, are specifically on those respective sites for how to get your bonuses in supporting that community in the way that you can. Thanks once again for everything that y'all do. Go ahead and watch the other video and the other channel, the Chris Pirillo channel. If you've missed it today, it was uploaded a little late. Tony, I'm going to answer your question 537 in the podcast, so just give me a few moments. We'll let everybody head over to the Twitch profile for that. But as of right now, I'm going to wrap up. I love you. I appreciate you. And at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. May the Force be with you.